So it seems like we're in the twilight zone here. Russ has lately been taking over the nutrition department. And if you're not on my email list, you need to get on right away so you can start listening and reading some of the emails that I write. They're custom made. It's information that you can't find anywhere else. And it's really good stuff. But since Russ is doing the nutrition videos lately on Facebook, I figured I'll do some training videos. And I'm going to debunk 3 of the most common myths that everybody believes. I've been going to the gym for about a dozen years now, and I see people doing these mistakes all the time. The first thing is the concept of overtraining. First of all, if you're just the average person looking to look good at the beach, lose a little weight, overtraining is not a factor for you. You never have to lift that intensely that could ever happen to you. But if you have a more athletic type of goal, you need to understand how this works. First of all, you want to be overreaching. And overreaching is not overtraining. The proper way to train is in periods. It's called periodization training. What you want to do is, ideally, you take an intense 3 to 4 week block. This is very common. And then after that, you taper off or you deload. And then you can follow it optionally with a 1 rep max test. And then you repeat the cycle all over again. That would be the most optimal way. And thankfully, to a group of scientists down in Florida that test this out with athletes all the time, it is very well established. Volume means results. The more you lift, the more frequent you do it, the better your results will be. Okay, second myth, and this one is really huge. I see this all the time. My clients are always asking me, Tamir, what about protein? Should I be taking that immediately after I go to the gym? Everybody thinks that if you don't take protein, the second you stop working out, that the anabolic window closes. That means that you can no longer build muscle. This cannot be further from the truth. There are 3 really brilliant scientists that ran a meta-analysis recently, and they published it. It was peer-reviewed. What they did is they combined all the controlled studies that measured whether it mattered over a long period of time in athletes, if it mattered if you take protein immediately after you work out or if you did it hours later. What they found out is that there were no significant differences in either groups. Through this huge data pool, the conclusion is simple. You should follow protein in any way that matters, but actually when I do another video in the future, I'll explain how you should time protein more properly. It's not based on when you work out, it's based on the last time you actually consume protein. Okay, third big myth. This one is also very, very big, very common. Personal trainers, coaches, athletes, everybody's under this impression that when you're doing your exercises, we can talk about the bench press specifically right now, that you always want to breathe in on the way down, breathe out on the way up. If you look at competitions, if you watch powerlifters, none of them do that. You actually, and not only that, you also hear that you have to set up your form perfectly, like you can't arch your back and you can't move your back and you have to be seated down perfectly, like laying down. You can just come around the side. So you hear all the time that you should be like this when you're benching. That's not true. Actually, you'll notice that you can pick up your butt off. If you watch a competitor, you want to get your ribs up as high as possible. You're shortening the distance and you're making things plus. If you take a deep breath in at the top, your chest comes out, your abs are secure, your spine is neutral, and you can come down and go up. Now, a lot of people want to just reset immediately. The second they come up, they come back down again because they're under this impression that a rapid fire is going to be more beneficial. But it's not. You actually want to wait a second, reset, make sure you're straight, take a new deep breath in. See how my chest comes out? Bring it down and back up, and fire up every time. Now, the only time that you want to actually do this rapid fire thing where you're breathing in and out on the way up and down is if you do a rapid fire hypertrophy set, which I'm not saying not to do. It's actually probably appropriate to do it at times. But if your emphasis is on making strength gains, and strength gains are the foundation for everything, you're going to focus on doing this nice and slow, and it's meant to be harder. If it's harder, you're forcing your body to adapt.